Hello there, everybody. I know many of you maybe are unsatisfied over whatever result came. We know Trump won and Harris lost. And there's many kind of conspiracies on how she lost. Either she lost because no one in the working class was satisfied by everything who established the way she may have tried at least to talk to the media, or it was otherwise in this case. Even I myself have doubts sometimes that I also think that every time we say, for example, Kamala Harris have always supported so many people in many years, but the sad reality when it comes to the Democrat side, especially when it comes to presidency candidates, not only Kamala Harris, but many people, it's about billionaires who have taken over the system. Not only the system, but White House and the government itself. It means even if you are an educated in the higher position, you won't be able to do anything unless the billionaires is the one who telling you what to do. So in my case, it would be rather, even if Kamala Harris have a choice, she either have to listen whatever the billionaires saying, because no matter what she doing, the billionaires will always telling her what to do. Do you remember the time when Joe Biden tried at least to make sure that everybody get, well, a cheaper labor whatsoever? Everything he tried to fight for were declined because every billionaire wanted him to slow down on things. Like, for example, make the grocery a little more cheaper for the working class. They were declined in the court, in the, I don't know, press, court, whatever, I don't know what to call it. You know already. And yeah, many other things. For example, bills and whatsoever. Do you remember when he was sending pardons, helping students to get rid of their loans? He did it, but none of the Congress did like it. None of the senators, regardless if they're from right wing or left wing. But most of them like to spend on their self. But I must say, when it comes to all of those who have been president, I don't think many of them have been selfish at all. But that's the point when it comes to the president today. It doesn't matter how many times we might fight. The point is, both Democrat and Republicans are captured by the capitalism who have taken over both sides. So no matter what the Republicans saying or the Democrats saying, it will still always be the billionaires' answer. Before you do anything, you have to ask permission by the donors and the billionaires and the elites as well. regardless right wing or left wing. However, I hear for sometimes that many people blaming each other. For example, black people who on the hand start to attacking white women for not voting for Kamala Harris, or people with other religious background depending on the size. For example, a lot of Muslims, well, not Muslims exactly, but if I may say this, when it comes to Islamic predictors, take for example a imam who could maybe manipulate someone by saying, hey, do you know what's happening in Palestine? I mean, that's the point. Everybody have thought about this war for many years. I mean, ever since this tragedy happened in the 7th October whatsoever. The sad reality is when it comes to both sides, regardless if this is Israel or Palestine, why compare the numbers when you can only be pissed on death? Death counts, not the numbers, but the killing. I understand that made many people furious, but here's the thing, what is different between people in the Muslim community versus the Imam itself. When it comes to religious extremists, they are on the hands only looking for power, while the real Muslim, who maybe have nothing with Islam to do, only want peace. Here's the thing, even if I can't tell exactly which religion I belong to, and yes, I said it before and I say it again, none of you know exactly which religion I belong to, and just because I'm talking about Islam doesn't make me Muslim exactly. That means you still have to dig before you know exactly which religion I belong to. I saying the same for the Christianity, and that means none of you will know exactly if I'm a Christian. Okay, back to the idea about Kamala Harris. Again, and there is some people in the working class who might never have voted for Kamala Harris, who maybe needed to rethink about things again. I mean, what about those coconuts who voted for Trump? For those idiots, they couldn't think clearly. I mean, again, we understand what right-wingers may be having in their minds, but not all right-wingers agree with each other. Some of them are very neutral, just like us, just like the left-wings. Me, I can't count myself as a right-winger or left-wing, but I can tell you this. Whatever anyone did, everybody did the best. No matter which gender you belong to, no matter what color you are, no matter what race you belong to, what community you're coming from, whatever sexual orientation you have, regardless which gender you belong to, or your gender pronouncement, or any kind of thing. Everybody did their best. And I get it, even if some of the right-wingers did really vote for the Democrats because they knew that Trump will destroy United States of America. But there is those idiots who maybe believe in his ideology, Also, they watch him as a third God in this case. And what do I mean? Well, for example, we have Yahweh, the first one. But he ain't the first God, of course, no. But at least that's what it is in Christianity. Second is Jesus, the one who maybe took over his dad's work, except that I don't believe so, because Yahweh would never just give Jesus his job exactly. Not exactly. And then the third, Donald J. Trump, as some people have speculate that he is a god, the third god. Yeah, a demigod who doesn't know exactly what he's doing exactly. He can do whatever he wants, kind of. No, but again, why on earth must each and any of you jump on each other, complain at each other, no matter what color you belong to? Sure, we know exactly what's happening, but in this case, it's not any of your fault. Think about that. I get it, because now we have a dictator who is coming in, and who knows if he going to sit there in 4 years. He might sit there more than just 4 years if he changed the law. And by the way, he may be going to make it more easier for every Republican to be elected. He might even manipulate the Democrat side as well. The question is, what will happen in the few generations? Will we keep doing the same shit like we're doing today, or what we did in the 50 years ago? What I want is equality, not this pathetic thing that all elites going to have the power, or only men can have power, why women have to submit, or the law taking over by watching women's body and so on. But here's the scarier part, as I understand, when it comes to idiots who just force women to bear children. They want to increase childbirth by many things, for the economy and for war. What do I mean with the economy? As we know, the elites will use everything to increase their income and whatsoever. They couldn't care less about you, only care about the money. That's the thing when it comes to their size, when it comes to childbirth. That's number one. Number two is increasing war, like proxy war and all the kind of stupidity as every capitalism or catastrophe capitalism will establish. Meaning you won't be safe at all, you will still be forced to do all this bidding as you want to decline, but you won't be able to decline because there will be a law about that. Whatever happened to all image, I don't know. For some reason we're going to go back to the time that every elite could decide how the society are going to look like. But okay, that's for another time. However, that birth things is something really scary thing that every woman have to be forced to bear a child. Even if many women decline it. I mean, there should rather be a choice for every woman to decide if she wants to have a child or not. But that's the scary thing when you force a gender to have it. Which I'm not. appreciate at all. However, the only thing who scared me most is because of everything we all have fought for. But what about those billionaires who are just sitting there to destroy the country? Here's the thing, there's also those billionaires who are not satisfied, meaning they are only there, but they have no satisfaction whatsoever. They still are there, destroying the country. So why the hell are they there? Who knows? Maybe to fulfill something they're missing all the time? Yet not satisfied. No, instead they're going to decide what to do and not to do. Yet nothing. Sometimes even a rich man can be empty, yet still creating chaos around the country. So yeah, I also sometimes have a question. What are they doing in the Congress? The saying goes for every billionaires. They have everything, yet they want more and more and more. Greed keeps growing up and whatsoever. Yeah, I get it. It is hard to even follow when it comes to bullshit. We don't know exactly what's going to happen in the future. We're all going to just go down in the rabbit hole and never come out until it is somewhere. I mean, I say it again. Take for example when Trump started to insult Harris. Just because she was a woman, she wouldn't come in. But I ain't going to talk about race at all. But I understand that part have May coming out. But that's not the idea. The idea was that she was a woman in Trump's mind. Not only in Trump's, but in every stupid MAGA Republican's mind. I don't say Republican, I mean MAGA. Again, a foolish man-child who keep doing whatever he does. And so does those idiots who doesn't have any idea that women can still be. But it have only with this part to do. And yes, let me go back to the time when Hillary was running against Trump. We know already when it comes to Trump, he can easily say the election was rigged. But in my case, I don't think it had anything with the voters to do. Take for example, 2016, I remember that there have been some people who have been opposing Hillary Clinton. And they use they start to organize people to doing the bidding by voting for Trump. They forced them to do it. And if they didn't taking the demand, who knows? People were threatened to vote for Trump. Yet there is no evidence for that, kind of. But I do remember that topic. No one made any discussion about that 2016. Something she could have get. But here's the thing. Even if some people might blaming just because either she was a woman or just because Trump were a celebrity who just got his vote, blah blah blah, everybody love him, kissing his head or whatever, blah blah blah. I don't care. That's not the idea. The idea is that what happened. And in the same time, I can also suspect that some of the countries have maybe given him the ability to be voted. But here's everything else any country need to know. Whatever Trump did was nothing but himself. But again, we don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I do remember what happened in that time. But could we compare today? I'm sorry, so long we don't have any evidence, what could we do? Nothing. Alright, we all have waited that Kamala Harris maybe will be the first woman in the president seats. I was hoping for it because I wanted to tell my children, okay, I have no child yet, but I might going to have it, and yes, I wanted to adopt children, not having biological children yet. And no, I ain't going to force the one I'm going to be together to bear my child. No, not at all. She, on the other hand, will have a choice. We both going to treat each other equal, and that's it. But I also going to be a gentleman to that person I propose to. Okay, however, I wanted to tell my children one day that for once there were a woman who became a president. I mean, for example, we had a woman who became a president in Brazil. We have a prime minister who became the prime minister of Germany. We had a president of Thailand who became a president of Thailand, a woman in this case. We had a prime minister, or was she a president? No, prime minister in Australia. I don't remember if she was sitting there for 4 years perhaps. I think so, I'm not so sure. And then in Great Britain, the one prime minister had been there only for 1 month, but she quit already. I guess something happened, I don't know why. I don't know why she changed her mind to have the power to become a prime minister. I don't know. I mean, Denmark had also a prime minister who were female ones. Oh yes, Norway had it too. They elected a female as well. Sweden, well, not elected, but were chosen later after since the former prime minister retired from the party, and they selected a woman later who took over the seats. I guess she had only sit there for 2 years, or was it just 1 year? I guess it was just 1 year after the current after the former prime minister retired. That was the thing. And that was before it was election after 1 year, before we got Ulf Kristersson as the new Prime Minister. Alright, like I said, there's many females in different countries who have been Prime Minister elected. Sweden, on the other hand, haven't had it yet, except that someone have been sitting as a Prime Minister only for a while, temporary. So that's the thing. But it's not impossible for a female to be in the government or become a president or prime minister whatsoever. So what I'm trying to say to you, fellow Americans, don't give up the hope. Keep fighting. Hopefully in the future you will find a female who will take over the power. But make sure that person doesn't take any donors from any of those fucking billionaires in this case, who will only rig everything. And I guess that's the part. Because, as I said, since the Democrats and Republicans are overtaken by billionaires, so controlling them no matter what the situation is, not all presidents or any senators will be able to even tell their thoughts unless it is a selfish mindset everybody can take. Because that's exactly what all of them doing. No matter what. Trump, he will at least deal with things like this. He will be the little king who will do whatever he wants. He have a bunch of money, so no one will even talk about that. That means even if the donors can say otherwise, they still have to ask Trump for pardons sometimes. And for those who are much more richer than Trump himself, they maybe will have them equal standard anyway. That means either Trump will agree or not. But okay, we don't have to count that. All I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what Harris were doing. Even if she wanted to talk with the working class and whatever she would love to offer. The problem was the billionaires had already established things for her. And even if she wanted to talk about her plan, she was already forbidden to do that because the billionaires were telling her what to do and not to do. Everyone is controlled no matter what. So that's the thing. I don't know how many years any billionaires have had power in the government. Who knows, maybe over 100 years as well. I don't know. But that's the sad story, and I get it. I feel you all. Even I myself didn't hope that part would actually be the system who will be in your hands. But here's the thing. The foreign country will be in danger because of Trump. He won't even do anything to protect the foreign country. Instead, any stupid leaders who want to make a deal with Trump, who will pay Trump by saying, well, we want to invade this country, please allow us. We're giving you 50 million bucks. Okay, I take it. And then suddenly you're going to give an excuse to just allow those people to attack the country itself. And that will be a disaster for each and any foreign country. Every superpower have a decision to attack all those countries because they got the money. We are all going to suffer as well. And I ain't going to talk about that because I'm afraid that someone might hear everything I'm saying and suddenly getting the idea to attack us as well. And I don't want that. No. But I'm afraid it could be. Because most of us in a foreign country joined NATO. Now we are going to be jeopardized by one man who only think about money, who only care about greed, and couldn't care less about us as human beings. We are all going to suffer for some reason which I don't know. And yes, as I mentioned earlier, neither of us will even have a safe plan to just escape. Because it will be the same thing what happened in the Taiwan, for example, or what happened in Japan for over 60 years ago, or what happened in other countries as well, just like Gaza and Ukraine, or many other countries we don't know exactly. I mean, being war ain't the best. What could we do? There's nothing we can do. The capitalism is the one who control the government and no one can even do anything. Even old veterans who actually know exactly what happened in their past, they don't forget that. They remember everything. Yet the capitalism is the one who control them as well, and calling them stupidity and anything else. Like it's not enough. What could we do? And the sad reality is, when we in the younger generation are going to be forced to go out and fight just because some stupid capitalist saying, well, you have to fight this war or you will be in the prison. Your choice. The question is, what are we fighting for? We need to know exactly what we're fighting for before we're going to war. I understand if this is the part is that you have to be a certain position or feel big, or some stupid ideology that you have to be a man, kind of. No, I don't care about that. I care about what is right. I don't want to kill an innocent person without to know exactly what the war is about. Like this excuse of Iraq war or anything in the Middle East or whatever shit we all have to be in. But again, as I said, the only thing that scares me most is women who will feel trapped in this system. Even if I could say each and any of us, well, okay, not me in this case, but any women and trans women who maybe need to escape United States of America to get I don't know, looking for an oscillation whatsoever. There you can protect yourself from the system of United States of America. When the Project 25 will be established, when it will be too late for all of us, especially women in this case. So the question is, would any of you independent women take the risk to just leave America? When it comes to you dependent women, I don't know, because you already learned that you are depending on men. So how are you going to live a life that you could at least stay away from that law who will be established perhaps in 2 months before Trump will be inaugurated. Who knows? Perhaps each and any of you need to learn a lesson from independent women. Do that! Don't wait in this case. Talk with them. Talk with every organization who can work with all females in this case. That's all I can say. Because there's a lot of things many independent women can do. So is it even for independent trans women. I can say this, there's 2 types of women and 2 types of trans women. And I'm not talking about depending on independence. No. Rather the identity yourself. But you are the one who can only recognize your own identification. However, it's only you as a dependent woman who have to change yourself to become an independent. Talk with each and any woman you can talk to. Make sure that you become an independent woman too. And of course, for every husband out there or boyfriend whatsoever, I think the best thing is help all your wives, girlfriends, and everyone. Make sure that they are safe, far away from this Project 25. If you can fight to burn this fucking book and make sure that Trump won't establish that fucking law. I don't know exactly what to do, but I am so pissed on this part that everything should be established in their minds. They are cuckoos. They don't know exactly what we are doing. They think they know exactly what we are doing, which some of them does, but yet they only will end up to hurt us all. Yeah. But back to Harris. Whatever Harris did, I say she fought as much she could, although she was lacking the information and was lacking by not getting vote. But she could have won. She was close. But I guess, as I said, some people were missing. So yeah, that's maybe the reason. But in this case, we don't know yet. Some people assume it was because she was lacking or otherwise. But I can't say anything. All I can say is she did her best. People who were following her knew exactly what they wanted. But the sad reality is, when it comes to Trump, he's just a manipulator. And I don't know if he have even manipulate the system, because sometimes I can suspect, since he always using by saying, "Oh, everybody's cheating." He said that even to Hillary Clinton, who were leading the party. But I am not so sure. Sometimes I get think that Trump might have getting help from somewhere. I don't know. And the time I remember when people start to suspect, the time when Biden were actually inaugurated, was watching the candidates. Well, they had eyes on both Trump and Biden. I don't know how it was today. Perhaps it was equal thing, I guess. I'm not so sure. But I hope it was at least a neutral election. But we could always hope for a better future, even if I know that we have to suffer when it comes to this guy. Trump. God damn it. Well, I am sorry, everybody. We are doomed, but we have to live for somehow. Well, that's all I can say, viewers, but I am not done about this Kamala Harris yet. There's a lot of things to talk about that. I was also supposed to talk about why I think Trump were sus part 2. But not the second shooting, of course, but the first shooting on him was more sus. But we will see. I can't say anything. Anyway, I wish you good luck, everybody. And yeah, I feel ya. It is hard. It feels. So I'm sorry, very sorry. Anyway, thank you all and have a nice day. Bye.